Episode 27, Rebuilding Courage. The December Series. Day 27. Rebuilding Courage. The Cowardly Lion in The Wizard of Oz believed he had no courage. He trembled at every sound. He ran from every threat. He apologized for his fear constantly. He was ashamed of himself. He thought he was defective. A lion without courage. A king without strength. A protector who could not protect. But here is the truth. The Cowardly Lion was the bravest character in the entire story. He traveled the dangerous road to Oz despite his fear. He faced the Wicked Witch despite his terror. He jumped across chasms, fought flying monkeys, and stood by his friends. He did everything a courageous lion would do. The only difference? He felt afraid while doing it. And he thought that meant he had no courage. But courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is acting despite the fear. And the Cowardly Lion did that every single day. He just could not see it. Because someone convinced him that feeling fear meant he was weak. This is what narcissistic abuse does to your courage. It makes you believe that you are weak, powerless, incapable, that you cannot handle life on your own, that you need the narcissist to survive. And after enough repetition, you believe it. You stop trusting your own strength. You stop believing in your own power. You start seeing yourself as small, fragile, helpless, like the Cowardly Lion. But here is what you need to understand. You never lost your courage. The narcissist just convinced you that you did not have any. In the Matrix, this is what the system does to people. It keeps them afraid. Afraid of the truth. Afraid of freedom. Afraid of stepping outside the illusion. Because fear keeps people compliant. Fear keeps people controlled. Fear keeps people plugged in. Morpheus says, "You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inured, so hopelessly dependent on the system, that they will fight to protect it." This is what the narcissist did to you. They made you dependent on them. They made you afraid of life without them. They made you believe that you could not survive on your own. And when you tried to leave, they reinforced that fear. They told you that you would fail, that you would regret it, that you were making a mistake, that no one else would love you, that you were too weak to make it alone. And part of you believed them, because they had spent so long tearing down your confidence, so long convincing you that you were incapable, so long making you doubt your own strength, that when the moment came to walk away you were terrified, not because you were weak, but because they had trained you to feel weak. Here is what narcissistic abuse does to your courage. First, it makes you doubt your own strength. Before the narcissist, you handled life. You made decisions. You solved problems. You took care of yourself. But the narcissist undermined every decision you made. They questioned your judgment. They criticized your choices. They made you second-guess everything. And slowly, you stopped trusting yourself. You started asking them for permission, for validation, for approval, because they convinced you that your instincts were wrong, that your decisions were bad, that you could not be trusted to manage your own life, and eventually, you believed it. You started to see yourself as incompetent, incapable, weak. But this was not the truth. This was their programming. Second, it punishes you for being strong. Every time you stood up for yourself, the narcissist retaliated. Every time you set a boundary, they violated it. Every time you said no, they punished you. So you learned, strength is dangerous. Standing up for yourself leads to pain. Asserting yourself leads to conflict. And conflict with the narcissist was unbearable. So you stopped being strong. You stopped setting boundaries. You stopped saying no. Not because you were weak, but because they made strength too costly. Dr. Lundy Bancroft, in his work on abusive relationships, explains that abusers systematically break down their partner's sense of autonomy. They punish independence. They reward compliance. And over time, the victim learns to suppress their own strength just to survive. Third, it isolates you from your support system. The narcissist cut you off from the people who made you feel strong, your friends who believed in you, your family who supported you, your mentors who encouraged you. They slowly isolated you. They made you feel like no one else understood, like no one else cared, like the narcissist was the only person you could rely on. And without your support system, you felt weaker. more vulnerable, more dependent. This was intentional, because isolated people are easier to control. Fourth, it creates learned helplessness. Psychologist Martin Seligman discovered that when people are subjected to repeated trauma with no escape, they stop trying to escape. Even when escape becomes possible, they learn that their actions do not matter, that they have no control, that they are helpless. This is what happened to you. You tried to fix the relationship. You tried to communicate. You tried to set boundaries. You tried to make it work. And nothing worked. The narcissist kept hurting you no matter what you did. So you stopped trying. You stopped fighting. You stopped believing that you could change anything, not because you were weak, but because you learned that your efforts were futile. Fifth, it makes you afraid of your own anger. The narcissist called you crazy when you got angry. They told you that you were overreacting, that you were being dramatic, that you were out of control. So you suppressed your anger. You swallowed your rage. You turned it inward. And anger is power. Anger is the emotion that says, "This is not okay." Anger is the emotion that motivates you to fight back. Anger is the emotion that protects you. But the narcissist made you afraid of your own anger. Because if you accessed your anger, you would leave. And they could not let that happen. Sixth, it makes you believe you need them. The narcissist positioned themselves as your savior, your protector, your guide. They made you believe that you could not survive without them. That they were the only one who understood you, the only one who could handle you, the only one who would stay. And you believed it, because they had systematically dismantled your confidence in yourself. So you stayed, not because you wanted to, but because you were afraid of what would happen if you left. In The Wizard of Oz, the Cowardly Lion asks the wizard to give him courage. He does not believe he has any. He thinks courage is something external, something that someone else has to give him. But the wizard tells him the truth. You do not need courage given to you. You already have it. You just need to recognize it. Seventh, it makes you afraid of freedom. You have been controlled for so long that freedom feels terrifying. Making your own decisions feels overwhelming. Trusting your own judgment feels impossible. You have been told what to do, how to think, who to be for so long that you do not know who you are without the narcissist. And that is scary. So even when you leave, part of you wants to go back. Not because the relationship was good, but because it was familiar. And familiar feels safer than unknown. This is what the Matrix does. It keeps people comfortable in their prison, because comfort is easier than freedom. Cypher says, ignorance is bliss. He chooses to go back into the Matrix, to forget the truth, to live in the illusion, because freedom was too hard. But here is what you need to know. Freedom is worth it. The fear is temporary. The courage is already inside you. Eighth, it makes you believe courage means fearlessness. You think, if I were brave, I would not be afraid. If I were strong, I would not feel weak. If I had courage, I would not hesitate. But this is not how courage works. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is feeling the fear and doing it anyway. The Cowardly Lion was terrified, but he kept going. He kept fighting. He kept showing up for his friends. That is courage. And you have been doing the same thing. You have been surviving. You have been enduring. You have been getting up every day despite the fear. That is courage. Ninth, it makes you forget who you were before. Before the narcissist, you were strong. You were confident. You were capable. But the abuse made you forget. It buried that version of you under layers of fear, doubt, and shame. And now, you look in the mirror and do not recognize yourself. You wonder, where did I go? But you are still there. You are just buried. And rebuilding courage means excavating that person, remembering who you were, reclaiming who you are. 10th, it makes you believe you will never be brave again. You look at how far you have fallen and think, I will never be strong like I used to be. I will never trust myself again. I will never feel confident again. But here is the truth. You are already braver than you think. The fact that you survived proves that. The fact that you are still here proves that. The fact that you are reading this, learning, healing, fighting to reclaim yourself, That proves that. Here is how to rebuild your courage. First, acknowledge that you have been brave all along. You survived narcissistic abuse. That alone takes immense courage. You endured manipulation, gaslighting, devaluation, discard. And you are still standing. That is not weakness, that is strength. Second, start small. Courage is a muscle. You rebuild it by using it. Make one small decision for yourself today. Set one small boundary. Say no to one thing you do not want to do. Each small act of courage builds the next one. Third, reconnect with your anger. Your anger is not your enemy. Your anger is your ally. It tells you when something is wrong. It motivates you to protect yourself. It gives you the energy to fight back. Stop suppressing it. Let yourself feel it. Let it fuel your courage. Fourth, surround yourself with people who see your strength. The narcissist told you that you were weak, but they were lying. Find people who remind you of your power, who believe in you, who encourage you, who reflect back to you the courage you cannot see yet. Fifth, stop waiting to feel ready. You will never feel completely ready. You will never feel completely fearless. Courage is not about feeling ready. Courage is about acting despite not feeling ready. Sixth, reclaim your autonomy. Make your own decisions. Trust your own judgment. Stop asking for permission. Stop seeking validation. You do not need anyone's approval to live your life. Seventh, face one fear at a time. You do not have to be fearless. You just have to face one fear, then another, then another. Each time you face a fear, you prove to yourself that you can, and that builds courage. Eighth, remember who you were before the narcissist. You were strong, you were capable, you were brave. That person is still inside you. They are just buried. Start digging. Ninth, stop believing the narcissist's lies. They told you that you were weak. They told you that you could not survive without them. They told you that you would fail, but you did not fail. You survived. You escaped. You are rebuilding. That proves they were wrong. 10th, trust that your courage will return. It will not happen overnight. There will be days when you feel small, days when you feel afraid, days when you doubt yourself. But slowly, step by step, your courage will grow. In Joshua chapter 1 verse 9, God says, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." This is your promise. You are not alone in this. You do not have to rebuild your courage by yourself. God is with you. Your strength is not just your own, it is divine. The cowardly lion never needed the wizard to give him courage. He had courage the entire time. The most courage in all of Oz. He just needed to recognize it, to trust it, to stop letting fear define him. And so do you. You have courage. A deep, powerful, unshakable courage. The narcissist tried to convince you that you were weak, but they were wrong. You were never weak. You were just surviving. And survival takes more courage than anything else. In The Matrix, when Neo finally believes in himself, he stops running from Agent Smith. He stops being afraid. He turns around and fights, not because the fear disappeared, but because he realized the fear had no power over him. Morpheus tells him, "I'm trying to free your mind, Neo, but I can only show you the door. You're the one that has to walk through it. This is your moment. The door is open. You can walk through it. You can reclaim your courage. You can trust your strength. You can believe in your power. Not because someone gave it to you, but because it was always yours." The narcissist tried to take it from you. They tried to make you believe you were helpless, that you were dependent, that you were incapable. But you proved them wrong. You left. You survived. You are rebuilding. And that takes more courage than most people will ever need in their entire lives. You are not the cowardly lion trembling in the forest anymore. You are the cowardly lion who realizes he was brave all along, who realizes he faced every fear despite the terror, who realizes courage is not the absence of fear, it is action despite fear. You trust your strength. You trust your power. You trust your courage. You are awake. You are strong. You are free. Tomorrow, Day 28, Finding Home. Dorothy spent the whole journey trying to get home, but home was never a place. Episode 27 is complete. The Cowardly Lion's journey perfectly captures how survivors reclaim their courage after narcissistic abuse, realizing they were brave all along, just conditioned to doubt themselves. The fear was real, but so was the courage to keep going. Ready for episode 28, Finding Home with Dorothy? This one will explore how home is not the relationship you lost, but the self you're reclaiming.